Right, guys, and welcome back. This is Above Average FPL. My name is Adam, and as always, joined by Baker. How are you doing, mate?
I'm good, mate. It felt like a chilled intro. Then it was like
I'm very relaxed. It's midweek,
it
so we
was.
don't. I feel like we don't
Yeah,
have to take it as seriously as we do on a Sunday, and we try and keep it relaxed anyway. If you're wondering what I'm doing, if I'm not looking at the camera, I'm watching the Fulham Villa game going on. So yeah, at the moment, at the time of recording, Fulham Villa, 76th minute, and Leicester Leeds has just gone into half time. Leicester doing an absolute number on Leeds at the moment, and Fulham doing a number on Villa as well with a very fortunate Mitrovic penalty, both being given and taken, to be honest. But I did say if it goes in, good pen.
You did say that, mate.
And Ben Martins has definitely quoted me on that. Someone a couple of weeks ago said if it's a good pen, if it goes in, yes, it is. So hello to everyone in the YouTube chat. So Isaac, Dan, and FPL Dan, Joe Stang's in there, Steve Sedman, and so there's a few in there, and Ben obviously and Spud Maestro. Evening to you. Hope you're enjoying the football this evening. And how's your week going so far?
Pretty nah. I mean, blank game weeks. When do we ever learn? Like, normally blank game weeks are always because good teams don't play.
Yep.
That it's very rare that they're not because good teams don't play. And yeah, why do we bother with them?
Yeah. Well, why do we bother planning? I mean, people were talking earlier about, or previously about going in with 9 and 10 players. I mean, you could have easily done that this week. Nothing's really happened.
Yeah, but no one did.
Yeah, and no one did. Yeah.
No one did.
Everyone was like, I need that extra player.
That's the thing. The pressure gets to you with it. The overall in the game, they went in with like 8.5 players out of 10 million players. But top 10K went in with 11. Now that's out of 12 because the captain. Yeah. So that's the average. So most people had 10 minimum. In their legendary managers and live FPL, 11.6.
Yeah.
Out of possible 12. Like, no one went in without potentially 11. Whether they got them all, is a different matter. But we all go in with them. But the shit just gets shit.
Yeah. It was shit all round, and really only the ones that really did anything were sort of Zaha, Trippier, and Pope, and that's about it.
Anyone's keeper, really.
And everyone's keeper. That's the thumbnail. Where are the goals? Like, where are the goddamn goals? There were, like, yesterday there were 8 goals in 7 games. I don't think I've ever seen that. Like, I can't remember the last time it was that low.
I listened to a it was a Totally Football earlier when I was in the car, and they were saying that Tuesday and Wednesday are statistically the lowest scoring days of the week for football. And then you think, oh, right, midweeks, people been playing loads of games. You've got 2 of the best attacks this season not playing.
Yeah.
Guess what? No goals. Like,
yeah, it is.
Probably could have taken the punt.
It is what it is. And myself, exactly the same, pretty much. So we're both sitting around about the 40-point mark. I am on. I'm on 47. You're on 43. So small green for me, small red for you. I'm not sure actually, Dan. Does it account for bench wankery? That live FPL number probably does.
Probably does.
Ragabody's clever. So you can't get away with it on live FPL and FPL game, but you just can't. It's as I've always said. It's always for the less engaged managers who look at their mini leagues and go, "Oh, that's quality. I've managed to make 20 points on who," and then suddenly in comes 20 points after the deadline, after the last game's finished. That's why I do it, because it's fun. And if you don't like doing it, fine. I don't care. That's fine. Chintan has dropped another little super chat in there, so we might have to get to this a little bit later, but he's going to listen to it back, and he says, wild card lads, Gaeta, Trippier, Cancelo, White, Saka, Martinelli, Foden, Salah, Tony, Mitro, Haaland. I thought you had 4 strikers there for a second. Bench, Warden, Andreas, and Nico, and he's probably got 1 player somewhere else. It's late here. He'll play this back. Thanks and love. Oh, thank you, Chintan. Really appreciate your support as always, mate. You are one of our biggest supporters, clearly, and that's a solid wild card, I have to say.
Solid wild card.
I feel like I wish I was on wild card. I really do.
Yeah. I feel like I do. I do think. What do you think you're gaining off wild card in the next 4 weeks?
Yeah,
you might. I think you probably will gain 30 points on a lot of people. But
I've seen some that are ridiculously good.
Yeah, but even then, it's 4 game weeks.
Yeah,
it's just 4. Like, a good game week, you finish 10 points above most engaged managers.
yeah,
That's a good game week. So your aim should be something like 40 points to gain in that time. But I think most of us are going to go there to what the teams are. Is everyone's looking at, I suppose, the 2 English golden boys, Foden and Saka. They're the 2 that people want.
yeah,
that every wild card's got.
absolutely.
Just how you get them in. And you get them in for.
Well, should we? I mean, we can do. I mean, somebody's asked about what our wildcard drafts would be. I'll tell you what we'll do because we haven't prepped it. We'll put something out on Twitter, and both of us will put one together, and then we'll just put it out on the account and see what you think of it. But there's some really, really good options whether you choose to go with. I mean, there's people talking about 3 premiums, people talking about 1 Haaland and then spread, and that all depends on how much money you want to put in the defense. And if you want to stack the defense, obviously that's going to limit you. But if you want to hit the 4-5s and Trippier and go that route, then that opens a lot more for you going forward. And getting Liverpool and City back amongst the game weeks is obviously going to give us more goals, and that's where I guess you could want to sort of focus your budget and focus on that, because you'll have a scorned City this week as well against Brighton. So it's on that Foden versus Saka. I think Foden would be the priority for me. Out of those 2.
Totally agree. He's probably going up tonight, by the way.
Yeah, I'm aware of that, and I'm thinking about it because I was looking because I can get to Trent and to Foden in one move. I think I got 0.1 left after that, so I can probably sit on it for a day. But I will wait and see how that works after we finish recording tonight.
I think if you are on wildcard, the one thing to do though is have a load of different plans. Like have actually 3 or 4 different drafts.
Yeah.
Fulham have just scored.
Yeah, that's Mitrovic out to, I don't know who number 7 is.
I think it might have been an own goal. It was Cabano who did it, but it looked like an own goal to me.
Yeah, that's an own goal. No points for anyone.
Yeah, on wildcard, you're gonna have potentially a leak Saturday morning.
Mm.
And the thing with Liverpool is, if you go Darwin, if you go Trent, and those are 2 players that might miss out. They could do. And then there's not like I'll just go from Trent to. Yeah,
because you can go Trent to anyone.
But
there isn't anyone up there because you've probably already got.
No,
Cancelo.
It's not like it's him or him. And the same with Darwin. In fact, if you don't go Darwin, then you probably look at a completely different formation, or you move down to someone like Tony, for example. You've got an extra 2 million. You've got to muck around with it. So I'd have some sort of like panic drafts that'll be like, right, if Darwin doesn't play, this is my draft. If Darwin does play, this is my draft. If Trent doesn't play, this is my draft, and try to work those through.
Yeah.
That because they'll be considerably different, and you'll do that thing where you take it out and I go, I've got 2 million in the bank. I don't know what I'm going to do, and don't use it. And then they really want to attack these 4 weeks.
Yeah. Cool. So, do we want to go through Ming's own goal? Do we want to go through
Ming's? There's a few Ming's owners out there too. He got booked. He's conceded 3. Now his own goals.
Bad day.
I mean, I had that yesterday. I had Bowen miss a penalty, and then Zuma almost put it in. And I was like, at one point, I was thinking I'm going to get 0 points from the 2 of them.
And then you have Mitrovic almost miss a penalty today as well.
Yeah.
Oh, that would have been a disaster. I guess on Villa quickly. I mean, can you see Gerrard being in charge at the weekend?
We've been saying all season, mate, that we think he's rubbish. I don't see anything that says to me any reasons why you would stay there. Who they'd get? Like, there's a lot of talk about them going after Poch, and mate, if they can get Pochettino, then just an absolute no-brainer. Is I'd be really sad if they would, but
you could project.
Yeah, but as well, if you offered Poch a load of money and had a big clause out of it, if Conte goes, Tottenham will still go back for him, and you can make a load of money out of that move. So, I wouldn't worry if I was Villa about the idea that he might clear off, because you're just going to make a load of money.
Yeah, true.
But yeah, it feels an odd one, Pochettino there. PSG to Villa.
It does feel a bit strange.
It doesn't quite feel right.
Yeah.
Doesn't quite feel right.
Mitrovic is now off for the last 5 minutes, so that's fine. He'll be rested for the next game.
Good. Rest that ankle up, boy.
Indeed. So, talking of no goals and a lot of games that we had to cover, let's just work our way through. So, Brighton 0, Forest 0. So, I mean, Brighton doing Brighton things. I mean, they were. I don't think anyone had to be really worried about Trossard playing left wing back yesterday. He was like, every time I saw him, he was in the box, and he had a few chances, and obviously he hit the bar. The XG chart here, it just shows an absolute pummeling, really, for me. I know it's only 1.7, and we can get to a pummeling later on with a lower XG than that, but just like lots of different avenues of attack for Brighton, everyone taking part. Welbeck had a few chances, McAllister had a couple, Gross had a couple, really good one, and obviously Trossard had 2 or 3. I mean, Forest are a bad side, but I think, is that all we really take from it? Is Forest are a bad side and Brighton can't score?
Probably.
Because when do we call this? When do we just? Because how do we frame it? I mean, do we frame it as like Brighton have bad strikers? I think it probably is that more than they're underperforming.
So I think they do have. I don't think they're bad. But I don't think any of the attack are bad. I don't think Trossard's bad. I don't think Gross is bad. I don't think Welbeck's bad. But they're not. They're quite slow in their build-up in how they work, and what you then end up with is a lot of shots, and not a lot of quality. So in those 3 games, they've scored no goals the last 3 games. They've had 47 shots for 3.8 xg.
Yeah, they haven't scored. They haven't scored in 54. I think it is. It's not. It's like 54.
You know, it's 0.08 xg per shot.
Yeah.
So you've got to take, what's that? 13 shots.
Yeah.
To make 1 xg.
Yeah.
But if you've got a 13-1 shot, like if you were just betting on the horses and you were like, I'm betting on 13-1 shots all afternoon.
Yeah.
Chances are you come away with no winners.
Yeah.
Because it's not like, oh, well, if we have 47 of them, then we should score a goal. Like every single one of their shots, they shouldn't really score a goal. So it's not really that surprising. That's the bit where these charts are really useful because they show you the bits of, well, did I really expect them to score?
Yeah. And I think the big chance is the Gross chance, I think, in the middle there. After 35 minutes. Yeah. Which he should have scored, which went straight at Henderson.
And bar that, they didn't open them up.
Yeah. No, fair enough.
The thing with Forest, though, is that they just feel paralysed. Like they now can't get out. They can't do anything. They're just waiting. And what would have happened if Brighton had scored early?
Yeah.
And they had to come out and play. Like that's when each of those chances would be bigger. So when you look at them being home to Liverpool on the weekend, you think, do I think Liverpool will miss that many chances or not open them up slightly better than that? You think, yeah, they will.
Yeah.
And if Liverpool score early, what on earth do Forest do? Just take it?
Yeah. No, it'll be a bloodbath, complete bloodbath. I can't see anything else other than an absolute mauling. Honestly.
You just know Trossard scoring this weekend, don't you? Wipe out City clean sheets. Yeah,
you painful. Just... I mean, like Isaac said, like, am I crazy to keep City for the Trossard? Jeez, I can't even talk. Am I crazy to keep Trossard for the City game? And I said, yeah, because I do think it's a mad move. If you haven't got like Foden and Saka for this weekend, just get him gone. Just because you're very likely to have a couple of mil in the bank to fund that move because you'll have planned it.
I didn't say this on Twitter because I didn't own Trossard, and you'd already done it. But I watched the press conference from De Zerbi, and I asked him about tactics, and he said, Dunk, Webster, Veltman, really good, can play 3, can play 4. And then he started saying very much like Ryan Sessegnon vibes about Estupiñán. He says he's got to be more confident, doesn't really believe in himself, doesn't do that. And I thought, he's getting dropped. Trossard's going left back. No, absolutely no issue, which still isn't an issue. Would have been
Did
would
you,
have
oh,
been
did you not have him then?
no,
Ah,
no. I've got the
and you
wonderful
didn't tell me.
Sinistera.
Or you did? Did you tell me that?
Oh no, you'd already done it. It was
Oh, I'd
done.
already done.
Yeah.
Because I remember you. I remember you saying about Lallana coming in and that being a worry for McAllister.
Yeah, no, that was the day before. That was the day before it said that. But then when I watched it, I was like, oh, actually,
I thought you were holding out on me then for a second, but no,
he's basically hinted that Estupinan is, as soon as you say those confidence vibes, it's like he's going to end up putting Trossard there all the time.
Yeah, true.
He's going to put Trossard there all the time. So
he got threat from there. I don't think there's anything wrong with the 1 week punt. And yeah, we saw last season that he's got threat from left wing back, and it was, it was Forest. So if you're gonna
if they'd have scored early on, him playing left back would have been perfect. If he just kept going further and further forward as they'd have opened up, it'd have been great. I don't think it was bad, but I'm like, I don't really want that going forward when you could have the likes of Saka and Foden.
Yeah.
Apparently Saka might have hurt his calf this evening, which is one to watch.
Oh, yeah. I had for a half second forgotten they played tonight. Of course, they won 1-0, didn't they?
Yeah, I don't know if we'll get. I don't think they normally do for Europa. They normally do the
press straight after.
Yeah. So I don't think you'll get any details.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Other than that, no takeaways.
We spent a long time talking about a 0-0, so
yeah, it's ridiculous.
So moving on to Palace Wolves, you were very excited about getting rid of Zaha this week.
I was so excited at half time to get rid of Zaha. So excited. I haven't watched him last week in the first half be completely anonymous. Then watching being completely anonymous again.
I have no idea how he even got into that position.
He said after the game basically
he wasn't even busting.
Yeah, he said I took it upon myself to go inside and start in the second half, and I'm like, what are you running the team now? You can just do what you like here. It is just took it upon myself. I'm going to go in there and do those things. But it was a good pass from Edouard.
Well, yeah, but what I'm saying is, if you watch the passage of play beforehand, like Zaha ends up on the floor, I think, he's stumbling, and he kind of just jogs into that position.
Yeah,
he just casually jogged. It's not like he busted his ass to get to the penalty spot. He just suddenly found himself on the edge of the box and just marauding. Is that the right word? Yeah,
marauding.
So that whatever it is, swanning himself into the box. We'll call it swanning. Swanning into the box.
But no, he took it upon himself, mate. Humble old Wilf.
yeah. Oh god, yeah.
It's a ranked game. Like this is number 2 ranked game. 1.2 xG versus 0.6, whatever it is.
Yeah, crap. Have you ever seen anyone as uncomfortable as Adama Traore head a ball as well? Just looks like he's never headed a ball in his life.
In his entire life.
But scored. Yeah, I didn't take much else from the game, to be honest. I mean, the thing about Palace, they've just got the fixtures, haven't they?
Yeah. They've
just got the fixtures, so it's really difficult to. I mean, I wouldn't want to move off them. I mean, off Zaha, and if you've got Gaeta, absolutely fine, no issues there.
Would you have any of them on wildcard?
Well, I mean, yeah, probably. I'd probably have. Well, the 3 away games from a defence point of view, but it is Everton who are nothing, and Southampton who are just generally weak. And Forest, who, yeah, I probably would. To be fair, I probably would. I probably have one. I mean, if the budget allowed it, I might even have Zaha because he's not in that 8 million bracket because he's 7 or 7.2. Was it something like that? So I wouldn't have. I could probably quite happily fit Zaha in there because he pops up, right. 2 games ago, an assist, and then a goal, and he takes it upon himself, as he said, to do these things.
You can probably only have him in if you're doing a midfield 5 though in Zaha really going forward.
Yeah.
Because if you want Saka, Foden, Salah, and Martinelli, there's your 4.
Yeah. Yeah. True.
I've got a decision to make probably. If I want to get Foden in this week, then it has to be.
Can you not fit? I mean, I think a decision there as well is like, do you want Bowen? Are you keeping Bowen?
How do you take someone out home to Bournemouth?
Home to Bournemouth, away at United, fine. Then home to Palace, home to Leicester.
What, the 2 worst set piece teams in the history of the world, and you've got the corner taker. It for 2 home games.
And you've still got Zuma as well, haven't you? So
it's bloody hard taking Bowen out.
yeah.
I'm more inclined. I mean,
I'd take Zaha out over
one.
Bowen. I'd take Zaha out over Bowen.
Yeah.
I would.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sinisterra home to Fulham or Zaha away to Everton is my. They probably both go over the next 2 weeks. It's just which one you want this week.
Well, Sinisterra's has been chopped in half, so
yes,
he's all right.
Yes,
he's all right. Right then, Bournemouth, Southampton.
Yeah.
I mean, let's just a small hand for Bournemouth getting above 1 XG. Well done. That's about
it. I mean, look at that. That's lots of small chance team versus we will give you a couple of biggies.
Yeah.
I mean, what is that? That's like 3/4 of the XG for Southampton's in 2 chances.
Yeah.
No, that's not the goal. Good header, the goal.
Good header. But
good header.
I mean, other than, I mean, I would have wanted to see them win this game if I would have carried on with my propaganda. I mean, I'm quite happy just leaving Solanke there for 5-7. I've got no issues.
Oh, mate, he's still the value, isn't he?
Yeah,
he's still the value. Can't disagree on that one. He is if anyone's got him, I'd stick with it.
Yeah,
fixture's good, scoring goals. I mean, they've got to give him he still had a couple of penalty shouts again. Like he's just never getting it.
Yeah,
everyone else is getting pens. He just don't get them.
Southampton. I don't think we've talked about a team less than Southampton. Maybe Everton, but yeah.
We've got Lucy coming on at some point in the next few weeks, so she can tell us about Southampton.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Yeah, she'd be the first person to have spoke about Southampton all season. Horrendous.
Oh, brilliant.
Chuck past them. Get past these people. We don't care.
Yeah, right. Brentford, Chelsea.
Oh.
Another 0-0.
Look at these games. 1.2 XG, 0.8 XG.
It's just dull. But at the same time, I mean, like, I feel like Kepa's on one at the moment. He's just hands are everywhere.
Would you, again, we're going to keep asking it because we've got.
Would I have Kepa on a wild card?
Yeah.
4.4, 4.5.
So, 4.4,
yes.
4, I think.
4.5. He went up. He went up today.
4.5 today.
Yeah, I'd probably have him. I mean, they're not easy games though, are they?
They're not easy games, but you just think as a minimum he's going to get 15 saves. Yeah.
Get Arsenal, Newcastle in particular. Even Brighton, to be fair.
Low XG chances, 0.8 XG. Like, this man's saving them if they've got to be like above 0.9 to get past him at the moment.
No, that's Chelsea's XG.
No, as I said, per chance you've got to get past.
Yeah.
Yeah, unless your XG is like 0.9, you ain't getting past Kepa.
Yeah.
So someone like Brighton who are averaging like less than 0.1 XG per game,
per chance,
per chance,
yeah,
per chance. Sorry,
per game would have been really bad. But yeah,
that would have been really bad. Yeah, I'd just go Kepa.
But there's nothing. I still don't know what to do with we just don't know anything about Chelsea's attack. It's like every time they've played under Potter, they've just like really been just anonymous. It's really weird because Broja looked all right yesterday, but still just like nothing really there. Haven't seen anything from Sterling. Havertz is a fucking ghost, and yeah, I just don't know. I I need to switch off these bloody adverts on Prime because I'm watching the game on the iPad, and I haven't put it on the TV, so I need to switch that over. But I can do that now. That's fine.
Yeah, they are a bit disjointed, Chelsea. I mean, they're missing James. Obviously, Kante's had surgery today, so that's him done. They're big misses, but they are doing a lot of tinkering. Potter is, full Potter.
Did you hear the interviews at the start of the game yesterday?
It's good, wasn't
it? which was kind of cool. I'm not sure you'd ever get that between like Klopp and Pep. I don't know that would ever work there, but you just imagine it. Ding, ding, ding. Off you go, lads.
Yeah, I think it's definitely manager dependent on
like,
whether you get one of those.
I mean, Like the one I'd want to see is like Patrick Vieira and Brendan Rodgers. That's the one I want to see.
That's the way I want to see.
Vieira like 6'5" or whatever he is.
That'd be
Brendan Rodgers
perfect.
about 5'6".
Brendan would take him, mate. Brendan would still go for it.
Probably.
He'd back himself. You know he would.
Yeah, definitely. Of course he would. Of course he would. Moving on.
Chelsea not going anywhere near. Tony, I don't like not owning Tony. Every time I watch him, I think he is. I think he's better and better and better every time we see him. Next three away to Villa, who now have obviously got no Doug Luiz. I'm an absolute shambles.
Probably no manager.
Home to Wolves, away to Forest.
Yeah, looks good, doesn't it?
Tony, I'll be on him.
Yeah. If you can have him, yeah. I mean, I think there's an argument to only have two up top, but yeah. If you're on wild card.
Yeah.
But yeah, Tony, yeah, I mean that's about it from Brentford, to be honest. I mean, their fixtures aren't good enough to consider someone like Raya, even though obviously he cleaned yesterday. And obviously just considering that you have to consider that they're obviously better at home and they've got 3 away games coming up as well. Yeah. So I wouldn't want to be doing that. I wonder if Leicester... No, they haven't. Okay.
People that have got Raya, though, he's suddenly picking up a significant amount of points, which is a bit annoying.
Yeah, it's a bit frustrating.
Yeah, he's getting the bonus. He's getting the save points. He's suddenly a double-digit man. So
yeah,
it's not the worst pick.
Was he still 4.5?
Still 4.5, mate. Yeah. Still 4.5 is it feels like more of a cheat code that you get Kepa for 4.5.
Yeah, but fixtures are just about the same, really.
Yeah,
cool.
But yeah, back-to-back 10 pointers, right? Yeah.
Talking about back-to-back double-digit returns for a keeper.
We did talk about it, didn't we?
We did at the wild card. Yeah, we did.
We did.
That's so far. I remember that discussion as well. You were like Alisson. I was like, huh? Well, no, I think it was a review that recommended
29
Alisson.
Points in the last 2 game weeks.
Like,
Like, I owned Bowen. I did not expect him at any point to score that penalty.
Oh, really?
He's so big, Alisson. He just fills the goal, and we've seen
him save a penalty from Kane.
We've seen just teams shit themselves against him, and that's exactly how it felt.
But how did they not score? Like, I know a lot of that XG. Like, obviously, you take that down, it's like 1.3 versus 1.1. How did they not score in those last? They have
got wasteful players though, like the Scamacas, the Antonios, the Ben Ramas, even Bowen.
Yeah, but we were saying before. I mean, I know you're saying that. We were saying before there were lots of like high volume stuff, particularly from Scamacca and that. They had like something like 20 shots or something stupid last game. They obviously weren't going to get that this game, but those chances there at the end, the Souček chance, like Christ.
Oh yeah, the Souček chance.
I can't believe that didn't go in.
Yeah, I'd forgotten that one.
But
Liverpool's a bit. So first half, it all gets sucked to Darwin, doesn't it? Yeah. Everything is just like this gravitational force of everything goes his way.
And right, whilst those XG numbers are quite low, I mean, he struck all of them pretty well.
And he strikes early.
Yeah.
Which obviously then makes it further out, which makes it lower XG.
Yeah.
You know, is so it does underplay some of what he does. But he's just so greedy.
Oh yeah, he had another couple of chances to pass to Salah, and just wants the goals.
Just wants the goals.
Isn't that exactly what we want from an FPL asset?
It's exactly what we want from an FPL asset.
So we have a 2+ ordinarily, because it's only 1.3, but generally speaking, we've got a 2+ XG team with a guy that sucks up probably half that XG when he can.
Yep.
Playing in the centre.
Yep.
But we don't know if he's fit.
We don't know if he's fit. We don't know about the minutes, but if he is, I mean,
but even if he isn't, it only took him like half an hour to have those chances.
Exactly. The worst case is he's gonna play 60 or 30 every game now.
It's so annoying because I look back on that conversation we had last week, and by the time I'd already made my move, I realised that I'd basically planned to stick James on my bench forever at 6 million, and I was like, and I'd made my move, and I was thinking about, like, why didn't you just sell James and just fund that fucking Darwin move, you idiot?
Yeah,
Like, I genuinely was thinking that. I was like, well, no, you've gone for the safe pick. You've gone for the Mitrovic. I mean, which is fine. He scored. Good, great, perfect. But like, I don't feel excited by the Mitrovic pick. I didn't feel excited by bringing Trossard and Salah in this week. It was kind of like it was, as my friend Ivan says, felt like a sword, a shield even.
You didn't massively lose for it, mate. So
no, not this week. Not this week. No. But I feel like I want Darwin now, and I don't want to spend another transfer. And plus, I've got to get Trossard out, and I need to get James out. I just have to get him out, just so I can actually do something with some money maybe later on. But I mean, like, Liverpool overall defensively, I'm still not convinced.
Still a bit rank, and still a bit, and we just don't know. Well, let's get Mo out. Let's get Mo conversation. How comfortable are you captaining Mo this weekend over Haaland?
Over Haaland, I mean, like, if Haaland wasn't, well, I'm not comfortable captaining him over Haaland.
No, I'm not.
Not at all. Well, no, I mean, that goes twofold as well. That there's a bit between. I mean, if City had played midweek, then there may be a decision. Yeah. But I think with City having a week off, like we've all said, like, oh, like how much rest is he going to need and all this sort of stuff, and they're like, oh, he's got lots of games and like playing every 3 days. Like, he's just had a week off. Like, that's what we want from our captain. Off. Like, and they've just lost to Liverpool, so surely, I mean, he hasn't returned. That is like going to anger the robot. It's like,
yeah.
So
anger the robot. It's such a hard time. The robots, old robot stage.
Robots with emotions is like iRobot.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I don't know where I am at the moment. I mean, I immediately put it on Mo as the bust team, but as it stands right now, I'm siding very much Haaland's way.
Yeah, Simon's right. Haaland's uses wild card as well. No wild card either for Haaland. I know you mean World Cup, Simon. Don't worry. Cool. Okay. Yeah, I'm happy having Salah this weekend, of course.
Trent, good numbers on the baseline.
Yeah,
good numbers on the baseline.
Yeah, but I watched. Yeah, but what did he get absolutely ruined by Fornals or something ridiculous?
Yeah,
he just made look like a child. I just that defense just worries me.
Yeah,
should we move on to a defense that doesn't worry me? So I'm good at this. I'm good at these little segues at the moment.
Go for it, mate. Do it.
Let's go. Kieran Trippier. Newcastle again keeping a team below half an XG or half a non-penalty XG.
They're a good team, mate.
Really good team.
I am not looking forward to Tottenham Newcastle on Sunday. No. I am not looking forward to it at all. A couple of things. One, Miguel Almiron's just the best player in the world.
We've said it a few times now.
The bit that,
and I ridiculed you when you said it about game week 5, but there we go.
I brought Callum Wilson in a few weeks back and thinking that, hey, you've got all these midfielders and you've got lovely crosses and stuff, and it's going to be really good for him. But he's playing very much a decoy player. Is that he does stand really, really far forward, but he's not a big guy, Callum Wilson. I think he's only about 5'9", 5'10".
Yeah,
he's not a big guy, and so he's just occupying that space. But there was a number of times when they could have put him in and they did not, because the midfielders just shot. Miggy did his goal and then he tried it again later when all he had to do was just push it 5 yards in front of him. Callum's there 6 yards out. Bruno does the same stuff. Like, you can see a lot of those low XG chances they're taking from that. A lot of those are the midfielders just continually hitting shots from like 20 yards, 20 yards, 20 yards. Yeah. They're pushing. They're a good team. They win a lot of ball. They work so hard, and
they were good against City.
Good against everyone, mate.
Like, do we have to? I mean, from a football perspective, do we have to consider them seriously now? Do you think as the squad? It's weird because it's weird because the squad is playing. It feels like the squad's playing above its station, and I don't mean any disrespect with that.
Oh,
but if
and they're only going to get better.
Yeah, exactly.
They're only going to get better.
Exactly. But if you're forming this kind of quality with Dan Burn in your side, I mean, like, again, no disrespect to Dan Burn, but he's not a top 6 player. So like we probably need to be worried in January that they come in straight. They'll strengthen again in January, almost certainly. I'd imagine
they will, but it's the motivation, it's the positive, way in which they operate, the energy that they move with.
So those bloody photos after the game.
Yeah.
Like little things like that are making such a big difference, aren't they?
Big. They are a positive team.
Yeah.
Everton are just waste of time.
Yeah. So, I mean, it does feel like target Everton. Everton, target Forest. There's a couple of questions on 2 guys, actually, Mikel and Dan. Crypto Dan, I should say. And should they run with their triple defense into Spurs? I think that feels too much.
Yeah, I don't see why you'd want to play Botman anymore, really. Like, if you don't have to.
Yeah.
That would be my... If you've got a Gahey way to Everton, look at Everton's XG there. Like, why not just keep riding it? Like, they are
one shot.
Yeah.
And Calvert-Lewin started.
If you've got a West Ham, like Zuma, for example, you're home to Bournemouth, you play those ones.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think I necessarily would want to carry on playing 3, but I wouldn't be upset if I had to.
Yeah.
Really wouldn't.
Yeah. No, I don't think we're going to...
If you had a Brighton defender or could play triple Newcastle, you play triple Newcastle.
Yeah. Okay. That's fair. But I think, I think you're probably moving on your Brighton defender, aren't you? Anyway.
Do you 4 weeks? Do you want to move on a £4.5 million defender? I'd be like, stuff that.
Yeah, no, fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. It's time.
It's time. We'll go from one team that is full of energy, full of positivity. As I was saying it, I was like, well, another team full of positivity, full of energy.
Yeah, not us.
I'll put
on record that I think that's the worst Tottenham's played in about 5 years. Like, it genuinely felt like one of the worst games I've ever watched. It was just pure misery.
Yeah.
And it's not even the way we set up. I mean, and I don't care that we conceded 30 shots as such. What I care about is when we were in possession, we basically kept the ball for about 6 seconds and then passed it to either the touchline or to someone else and didn't move for the ball the entire game.
It's basically an 8-2 formation, which then means that you've got such a... This is the thing about Tottenham playing 3-4-3, and everyone's like, but they never have the ball, You're like, yeah. That's okay, because what they need to do is just they'll suck it up and then get it long, and hey, you've got 3 people, and suddenly it's 3-on-4 and they're okay.
Yeah.
But what happens now in this is what you end up with is in the 3-5-2, in a team like, when a team's coming at you with 3 really functional midfielders in, Fred, Casemiro and Bruno, is that they're pushing them into a back 8. Yeah. And then there's 60 yards between the 2 up top and them. It doesn't matter how good your 2 up top are. If there's 60 yards between them, they ain't going to do nothing.
No, and to add, I mean, that Kane and Son felt like they were deliberately staying 60 yards away, which was extremely frustrating. And I also want to say that we're not contesting the fact that United were excellent yesterday as well.
Yeah, we'll get to United. We're Spurs fans. We should say what we think about Spurs.
Okay.
Like, as a team, we've got a blueprint that nobody else would ever use in a top 4 challenging team. We've now conceded 144 shots from open play. Nottingham Forest have conceded 127. All right. The worst is Brentford, the second 128. We're on 144 open play shots. Yeah. Now, you can say also it's only 10 XG from 144 shots, so it's really, really good low quality. But it's still not as good as Arsenal at 6 xg or City at 5, and it's more like they're still actually also conceding it at a similar rate, so at like a 0.1 xg per shot rate.
Yeah.
It's about what it does to the whole crowd, to the mentality, to the momentum of the game. Is players when they hit that shot don't go, "Cool, that was not that." That was only a not. That doesn't matter, mate. Like, it doesn't matter. It was only a 0.1 xg. Like fans, you don't ever hear that in the stadium, any of that stuff. Like you can get why they're doing it, but it just disgruntles when you're just seeing a team dominate you, just bash, 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 bash. And they must do the same for players. It must do the same for everybody, where they just think, I just don't want to play this game anymore.
Yeah.
It's not a good way to be. It's a problem. I think it's really easy to avoid Tottenham till the World Cup. I think they're a really easy avoid.
Can't disagree with that. I can't disagree with that. I
mean,
just up front, it's too expensive, and at the back, because there's a high volume of shots, it does feel. I mean, I'm not even like the minutes on Perisic and Sessegnon as well. I wouldn't want to go there personally.
No. It's just too difficult.
Unnecessary risk.
It's too difficult. I do think Emerson Royale probably comes back in on the weekend.
Yeah.
Because if nothing else, what Emerson gives you is a bit of drive, a bit of energy to try and get down the pitch. It may be rubbish when you get there, but Perisic and Doherty have just got no pace.
Oh my God. Did you see it like 2 or 3 times? Perisic starts to drive from the back and then realise he's starting at left back and then just stops at the halfway line.
They've got no pace. And if you've got no pace, you can't get that midfield forward because those midfielders, they're nice, but they don't drive. They're not, they're not quick tempo. They can't up that tempo. They're not Bruno Fernandes.
Yeah.
I'm sitting looking at it. They're nowhere near his quality. They're not Casemiro, and so you've got to give them a platform. And one of the things that they talked about was that Man United didn't give them midfielders any time on the ball. The best way to get them time on the ball is to use the wing backs to push forward so that the wide midfielders have to drop it in and then they create more room for the centre midfielders. Because we've got no pace out of wing back, it's absolutely killing us.
Yeah.
Isn't it? United. I mean, how did Rashford not get 20 points?
Because, I mean, I think Hugo must have shoved some steel into his gloves or something. Because we're not used to that kind of strength of hand from him, to be honest. I have no idea. He should have had 2 goals. Should have had 2, yeah.
Yeah. Our Sinistera punt has failed. He's just gone off on 74 minutes.
Perfect. Well, you say our Sinistera punt has failed. I've had him for 3 weeks, mate. He got sent off and did nothing, and then did nothing. So,
and I'm selling him, mate. It was fun, but I'll keep Will Zaha.
Yeah, good decision.
Sinistera to Foden. That'll do me. Thanks very much.
Good decision.
You had fun. See you later.
Yeah. Options United then.
Yeah, Rash at 6.6 is still a bargain. Chelsea, he's got in next. Chelsea are conceding chances. I think United will overrun Chelsea. I do. If they play that same midfield with no Kante, I can easily see them overrunning Chelsea. I mean, Chelsea probably just will turn up because they love turning up in big games at home. But you then get into Man United, West Ham.
It's going to be one of those dull games, isn't it, that game?
Yeah, Aston Villa and Fulham in the last 2. He's got some fixtures. I mean, I think every single one of us will come out, give us a Christmas present of Marcus Rashford. Home to Forest in 17, away to Wolves, home to Bournemouth. We will all be having Marcus Rashford at Christmas.
This is true. This
The
is very,
second,
it's very
the
just.
second, honestly, the second that World Cup, second game week 16's over, we got unlimited transfers.
He was the
Marcus
first one in.
Rashford,
Price rise.
but maybe you get him beforehand with Fulham and Villa and all the likes.
Maybe, but then you've already spoken about a midfield of Salah, Zaha,
This is why I like a five-man midfield.
Martinelli, Foden, Saka.
This is why I like a five-man midfield.
So we're moving into like this dead rubber third forward slot, which I don't mind actually, given that you can have a number of.
But it then makes Darwin really hard because how do you go without? We're going to get. Let's go to Mitrovic. Can we talk about Mitrovic? we haven't got a thing for it, but
mate. What do you mean?
Oh, have we got one?
Oh, look at
we
that.
Got one. Look at this. We have got one, mate. All those chances. He is just irresistible. I mean, he might miss them, but you never have a quiet game from Alexander Mitrovic.
No.
Unless he's broken like he was last weekend. But even then he scores.
Yeah.
So you have Haaland, you have Mitrovic, and
we're slowly building up this wild card as we've progressed through tonight. And we're almost done.
It's just the Darwin thing. It's just the Darwin thing. That's it. But there is, I mean, that's when you start going into. Are you better to have if you're not going to captain Mo this weekend and you're in wild card, are you better to just go Darwin and Trent? Because you've got the room for them.
Yeah.
Cancelo,
and then you
Trippier,
can have your 5-man.
Trent.
You can still have your 5-man midfield because you've got an extra 5 million.
Exactly. Have Rashford instead of it, and then which then gives you all the money in the world, and you'd have a Darwin, Mitro, Haaland. We got to bench someone.
Yeah.
Oh God, you can't have a 5 midfield because you got the. Oh God, it's a disaster. This you can't have them all.
You've got to have most of them, though, haven't you?
Marcus Rashford, at some point, we're having him.
Yeah. Just thinking, who else are we talking about in that midfield? I mean, because we've been talking up Tony as well. You know, we're not even considering Jesus up front. Who else have we got in there? We talked about that 5-man midfield, and we've talked about taking out Salah for Rashford. Would you not start with Bowen? You'd probably go Bowen and then Rashford. Would you not? I think that's a decent bank booking a transfer. If there's a transfer to book in.
Bowen, I would probably do Bowen to Saka. Yeah, Bowen to Saka, 13 to 14, maybe.
Wow, no, Arsenal, Southampton.
Yeah, but what if he is injured and you don't know?
Oh yeah, I suppose.
Yeah, if you don't get any news or you think it's a bit dodgy, I think I would be tempted to. They've got some fun to work. That's the bit I hate about a wild card when you've got 2 days. You get none of the price rises, and you are working on scraps of press conferences. What a stressful Friday that is.
Nightmare.
Yeah.
Right, what do we want to look at now? Because we haven't got anything for Leicester Leeds, but obviously because the game has not finished yet. And if you want a ticker, you're gonna have to wait like 10 seconds until I updated it because I put the wrong one in. Do you want to go back to some of the questions that we had?
What questions we got?
Hold on. So
I mean, I'm cool.
No, the question. So the other questions we had. So we've had a question about like what to do with Solanke and Mitrovic in the run up to the World Cup. Do we need Martinelli and Saka? From Stephen. So I think we've pretty much covered that. I don't think you need Solanke. I don't think you need to be in an urgent rush to move him on. But I don't think he'd be in my wild card team.
No.
I think if you've got him, fine. And if you want to, if you've got a free transfer to burn almost, then and you've dealt with like your Reece James situation, then fine. It's probably But otherwise, I would leave Solanke in there, and you can bench him if you need to.
Yeah,
you can still get enough. But Mitrovic, I'd keep Mitrovic.
Keep Mitrovic.
Agreed?
Yes, 100% keep Mitrovic.
The Foden or Saka from Mount. I guess that's from this week, so that's from Simon. So he's in the chat tonight, so that's good. What do you think? Foden? You say, as you just said, I guess, we just said it, haven't we? Foden, because we don't know.
Foden.
No news on Saka. And then Daniel said, is Nunez a better option than Salah going forward? And I think we've kind of just agreed that it was, probably was. Probably is, or probably could be, yeah.
The problem is with Mo, just coming back to it, is that we just don't know what Klopp's going to do. So, why is he doing it? Why doesn't he just play him up top? When he plays him up top, he scores goals. He's their best player.
Right.
That's the problem. Is if he wakes up tomorrow morning and says, "What I'm going to do for the last 4 game weeks is play Mo through the middle," then he's
Yeah.
the best asset. Well, I don't want to say in the game because
I know what you mean. He's the best midfielder.
yeah, he's worth the money. He's worth the extra.
There you go. You've said it well.
He's worth the extra. You know, you don't want to go in without him.
Yeah.
But if he decides that he's going to stick him out on the right and play Firmino and Darwin much more through the middle, it's a problem.
Yeah,
it's a problem. We just don't know.
Yeah,
just don't know.
So what are you? So what are you thinking then, moves wise for you this week?
Wilson down to fodder, and Sinisterra to Foden. Take a -4.
I think I'm gonna move James on this week and just take the pain of it. And I mean that's what I can do. I can do James and Trossard to James and Trossard, because I could do Trossard or Sinisterra. The problem with those fixtures, as you can see on there.
Nah, you gotta take Fulham at home. But I'd be tempted. How much you got in the bank?
I don't know. Hold on 1 second. Let me just.
Have you got enough?
If you've got any questions, we're going to take some more questions. The ones that we've just done are from our Patreon. So if you do have questions, chuck them in now. I see a few coming in, but I'm just going to have a look at my team very quickly. So if I take out James and hold on. So I've got 2.8 in the bank. Yeah. So James and Trossard can become.
So you'd still have enough, maybe, to do James to Trent and Trossard to Foden.
That's the plan. That was the plan. Yeah, that was the plan. With 0.1 in the bank, and that's what I'm saying. I can do those. I can do James and Trossard.
Yeah, do it
to those two, and that would give me Pope, Trent, Gahey, and Cancelo and Trippier. 4 at the back.
You took out Martinelli, didn't you, on game?
Yeah, I've got no Martinelli. I've got no Arsenal for Southampton, and then I wouldn't be able to get to Saka.
Martinelli. But you could get to Martinelli from Sinisterra.
Ooh, can I? I do not know because his form is terrible. Hold on, where is he? No, I can't. I'm 0.1 out. Well, do I need Trent then? Could I just go like Gomez or Van Dijk or something like that?
What, the team that you just said that you really don't like the defence for?
Fuck yeah. Yeah.
Maybe look. No, because you can have triple City, so you can't do nothing else with that.
Yeah, no.
You're gonna want to play Gahey probably in 14 and 16.
Why don't I just go like Saliba or something and just get the Arsenal cover?
Why not Ben White? Didn't play tonight.
Ben White
got rested.
Yeah, could do.
Give
Ben White.
The monies.
Yeah, could do Ben White. That could be quite easy, and then I'd still have loads of money to do whatever the hell I wanted. Yeah. That feels like
you could do Ben White, and then you've definitely got enough money for Saka next week.
Oh yeah. I'll have him. I still have a mil on top of that. So
yeah,
cool. Well, we're coming up to an hour, so we don't want to be on for too long tonight. But let's take some questions. I'm going to scroll up a little bit and see if there's anything else that we want to go through. So, Rashford, great pick. Mitro and Darwin. Trent over Robbo? Oh, hold on. No, let me go back a little bit further. Someone said, I saw one. I saw something about Kane and Trossard and Foden and Darwin. Was it Dan?
I don't know.
Dan, the FPL fan, was he asking about it? Maybe. Should I do
-4 for Kane to Darwin? I'll just keep Harry. Or wouldn't -4 Kane? That's Kane home to. Oh God, we cannot advocate that move.
Oh no, it's dreaming FPL. Sorry, yeah, grateful transfer dilemma. Would you take a -4 on Kane to Darwin and Trossard to Foden?
Oh, but you did get Trossard to Foden. I'll probably allow that one.
I'd allow that one. I think I'd allow that one. Yeah. I could also do Perisic to a 4 million midfielder and then Trossard to Foden. No, I wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
No, do the Kane to Darwin one. That sounds more fun.
Kane to Darwin, it's what you do with the other 2 million. If that 2 million gets you Foden, then fair dues, mate. Do it.
Yeah. So that's all they've been. The guys in the chat have been answering that one anyway. So we probably didn't need to worry about that. My conundrum is Mitro and Darwin or Tony and Jesus. Mitro and Darwin.
Yeah.
Agreed? No?
Say again?
Mitro and Darwin or Tony and Jesus?
Oh, Mitro and Darwin. I mean, I'll give this one out there now because I've been kind about saying it now, but my personal opinion, we're going to short this, it's going to get bad, is that Jesus is just an appalling pick. I don't understand why anyone would go anywhere near him. Cool. I know people can say like he gets 0.6 XG per game and stuff like that. You're like, but yeah, he's a really bad finisher. He's been a bad finisher for loads of years. He needs to have that kind of numbers. Plus, if he gets booked, you're like, oh, I've just lost it. You know, you'd be much better to try and get Darwin in, and then if you needed to, go to Jesus next week.
Yeah. Nathan Jacobson says Darwin or Firmino.
Darwin.
Unless it's a money issue.
Darwin.
Trent over Robbo?
Yes.
Skamaka. That's one we haven't talked about.
Oh, that's the question. So I was like,
that's
give me ifs or ors. And I was
literally
like, Skamaka.
FPL Coys. Come on, you Spurs. Skamaka.
Tony.
Mind
you, the fixtures are there. Like 3 of the 4 are good. And he is greedy. Yeah. But I think I would. And who knows? He could be on pens now.
Yeah, true.
It could be.
Right, Danny Ward's about to keep his second clean sheet in a row. What's this going on? Foden due a price rise. Are we okay to get him on him early? Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I would say so. Yeah, if you haven't got Foden, I mean, I'll move on to Foden tonight. Definitely.
Brodge is making it through to the World Cup again, isn't he?
Yeah, somehow. Dal is absolutely raging about Steven Gerrard. Absolutely, yeah, I can understand that.
Capitals only.
Capitals
only from Dal.
That's it. Love it. Right. Oh no, he's in. Jack says, you know, 1882, can I ask a question? Yeah, you can ask a question. Feel free. Go for it. That's what we're here for.
Well, what time? We should 10 o'clock. We should probably wrap it up, mate. Wrap it up.
One more question, then we'll wrap it up.
Did Trossard to Foden last night? Tony to Darwin with -4 is a good idea of exact cash. If you get the leak Saturday morning and you feel fanciful, do it.
Okay.
Let's go.
Cool, man. Right, guys, thank you very much. Yeah, we're just coming up to an hour now, so we'll leave it at that. But
we'll leave it at that. Did you plug it? Mini league? We're still got a few weeks.
Doing it right now. So UAT 148 for the mini league. We are closing it at the World Cup. So if you want to join, make sure you do before then. The podcast and the channel are supported by our friend Dan. He's at CryptoBlockDan on Twitter. Go check him out. Really great guy. He's been in the chat. He's in the chat every single week supporting us. And he's doing much better than me at FPL this season. So you might want to just follow him instead. What else have we got in there normally? I don't know. I can't even remember what the plugs are. Just thank you very much for everyone.
Patreon, if you want to get involved.
Oh yeah, patreon.com.
We're doing a fair bit with it. You know, we are there. We'll tell you our teams. We'll chat. We'll give you advice through the week if you want to. Yeah, and we've also just put out a video to the guys in there. I mean, I'll tell you what it is. It basically just says that like what content do you want to see? So, you know, things like early release of the BPS pod and stuff like that. The data from the BPS pod we'll put on Patreon rather than releasing it out and stuff like that. So yeah, there's going to be some good stuff over there. We're going to be developing that over the next month or so. And yeah. And that's it. Good stuff. See you later. Cool. Catch you later, mate. Cheers, guys. Bye.